Yeah. Yeah, we up in this motherfucker, y'all. They said it would never happen. They said we couldn't do it. They said Big Bo could never get this motherfucker on the camera. Here we are, baby. All day long, all day strong. Me to you to me, from everybody. I tell these motherfuckers, y'all not come from my cloth because they stopped making my fabric. Shout out to the STL West Side, the North Side niggas, Hillsdale, throw up your ankles, baby. 68th Street, this is where we at. These motherfuckers that made me from the streets, for the niggas that jumped in, jumped out, and got away with it. Here we are today. Today.
Oh.
I bring you the first episode of I Get to Know the Owner with the very own motherfucking Black Republicans, baby. This is where it's at. Shout out to Will.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this.
I'm glad
to be here.
They said it couldn't happen. They said it wouldn't happen, my nigga. So first off, before we get into, we got to get to our sponsors. Shout out to BC Plumbers for all your residential and your commercial needs. Holler at the homie Lil Petey. This is where Roy would normally say fuck Lil Petey, but I fucks with Lil Petey. On Broadway, my brother's liquor store on Broadway, right next to the Safeway on Broadway. Go holler for all your liquor needs. Big L, DJ Big L. Weddings, bar mitzvahs, you're going in, you're getting out, baby mamas, whatever. We got you. Holler at Big L. Man, Paul motherfucking Wilson, the Black Republican. I want to introduce you in all that you are. You are you've been in second place a few times. You are one of the four founders, the founding fathers of this league. And you have an interesting story on how you navigated football. So tell us about you. Tell us about Paul Wilson. Tell us about the Black Republicans. Tell us where you came from, what you got. Talk to the people.
All right. Appreciate it, man, that we did this. And let me start off. I'll say in the beginning, I was doing my thing, but I kind of slacked off. For the last couple of years, I've been focused on rebuilding this team like a real manager.
Get to football. We want to know you. Who is Paul Wilson? What makes Paul Wilson Paul Wilson?
Well, I'll start off by saying I represent South Florida. We down here in South Florida. Came from immigrant parents. I work at a hospital as a mental health tech in the ER. I've been at the hospital since 2015. And that's about it. I like politics, like sports.
You like politics, like sports. What should you like more?
That's rough. Let's go with sports. Let's go with sports.
You go like sports. I fucks with that. So, how did you come about getting in the league?
Oh, I came through the league through Roy and Lennox. They actually got me involved in it.
Shout out to Steve Commish and the world boss.
Yeah, shout out to them boys. I fucks with them boys. Since 2010, I knew Lennox.
Mm-hmm.
And Roy used to, come through the workplace, and that's how I got, introduced to him and his league. And his management skills was very impressive.
Really?
Impressive. Oh, yeah. I watch him grow,
and
he takes it serious. And I like that.
I tell him all the time, I know him outside of this, and his vision when he first told it to me was exactly that. All active, everybody in, always involved, and watch it grow from that 12-man league to that redraft league to the dynasty league and now the salary cap. But we're going to touch on all of that and your philosophy on each one of those. So you've been in the league since, you said, what, 2015?
I say like 2014.
2014.
When the league first started. That's right around the time it started, right?
I am going to say in that time, what did you do? in 2014. This was a 12-man league back then. And
Yeah,
what was you well, not Trucker Banging, that was Roy Team Watermelon Boy.
Corinthian Kings, I think it was, or
That
something
might
like
have
that.
been 15. So
Okay.
you went from no, you wasn't pay the man. Come get me. Don't matter. But you've been in the league a long time. And I got the history
Mhm.
pulled up and they all everywhere. You have had an up and down kind of fantasy football career. In my and if
Mhm.
you watch the show, everybody know I have been very critical of the Black Republicans and their
Mhm.
ups and their downs. You have had one playoff appearance in the last eight.
Mhm.
One
Mhm.
playoff appearance in the last 8 years. Help the people understand what happened.
Okay. I would say my vision for the team
We're gonna get the
wasn't
vision
up
in a
to
little bit. And I
par.
want to know what happened.
Yeah, the vision of the team, it wasn't up to par with what was required for
Mm.
the league. Yeah. Like I said, the way Roy runs the league made it that everybody had to really be on their A game. And I'm not gonna lie, maybe I was lacking with my focus a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Didn't like the way a few things were working outside of the game, and I let it influence how I approach my league.
You want to
But
go
now
in
I'm a
depth?
little
You
more
want to tell the people
focused.
what the reason was? I know.
Nah, go ahead. What was the reason? Well, I want to hear this.
You said you stopped watching because you were in full support of
Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
let.
Like I
I
said,
didn't want to put words into the brow.
I let a lot of stuff outside of fantasy football
Mm-hmm.
affect how I manage my league. So yeah, that's what happened. But I'm not making any excuses. I'm
Sound
just
like
trying to
it.
come back strong.
Come back strong. So you coming back strong. You just finished dead last. I would
Yes.
like to say again, but you finished dead last again, and you've done that a few times.
Hmm. Well,
Explain
I'll
to
say
the
that.
mother.
Okay. Okay. You all right. So with this season, last season that just passed, you saw, let's
I
keep it
saw it.
honest. I tanked, rebuild process, but you saw,
Say it again for the motherfuckers in the back.
hey, let's let's call it what it is. Tanking, rebuilding, it is what it is. I had to put myself in a position to build a stronger team. And you could see it last season that I was being strategic on
You beat
how I
my
was, yeah, playing. Yeah, I had to.
ass. You
In
beat
one game, I
my ass.
had to win, and it almost cost me my first pick.
Mm.
So I had to be more strategic this year and prepare myself for, this year's draft. And you can see it with my 2 picks first round, 2 picks second round, and 2 picks third round. So I'm really focused this year.
Focus this year. So, with the admission of the Black Republicans tanking this year, previously, some years back, and I actually had it pulled up and I was going to bring it on screen, but no need because you remember a time when you
Hmm.
said, I want to quote, tanking is hoe shit. Real niggas don't tank. So, nigga, nothing.
Hey, like I said, man, I just admitted it. I tanked this year. I had to do what I got to do to rebuild. Like it's no way around it
I can see
because
Roy
this
right
team
now
is
looking at
very
this, tanking
competitive.
the
I will
strategy.
say this. I will say this. When I
Mm,
said that taking whole shit, you can't like this league is super
mm,
competitive.
very.
You got to tank. If you got a tank to rebuild, it is what it is. Get them draft picks. Do what you got to do because this is a seriously competitive league. You think you a step ahead of someone? You got 2, 3 steps ahead of one player, another owner. Trust me, they pulling the same moves you pulling that you trying to keep secret. You're on the hush hush. Everybody's paying attention. Like I'm trying to play. 3D chess, and what I realized it's a lot of owners in this league that play 3D chess along with me.
Mm. It was a move I remember back in the day. It was the what was it, the Cam Newton move that pissed
Mm-hmm.
Roy off. It pissed Roy off. Now we both here. Now he's accused us of cheating back in the day and this, that, and the other. Set the record straight. Were we cheating? Were we conspiring at any given time?
Oh, we were not. Because my approach, though, like I said, I'm managing this team like a real owner,
Mm.
and I have no attachment to any of my players. I'm gonna do what it takes to win.
You
Simple as
heard it
that. And
here, Roy. You heard it
Cam
here.
Newton was on the chopping block.
So I want to talk about your fantasy football philosophy. How do you see you running your organization? How does your organization operate?
My organization, like, what do you mean? Like, what type of details do you want to know?
Like,
Like
are you
preference,
I'm a draft heavy kind of guy, or am I I want to get established players and then
proven player.
I draft. Yep, yeah. So,
Hey, like I said, since I'm rebuilding, I think right now, since I put so much focus on draft,
mhm.
I think that's the direction I want to go. I want to draft players. I want to get better at scouting talent.
Want to get better at scouting
And
talent.
like right now, my focus is this year. I think my focus is going to be running back. Yeah, running back and maybe a receiver or two. But I'm really focused on running back because I feel that I can have a solid team if I pair up a running back with a solid quarterback.
All right.
So
So
that's my
far,
goal.
you have 6 picks in the first 32.
Hmm.
We're gonna talk about your roster in a minute. So I'm gonna give you a chance if you got a second, if you want to pull it up. Talk about it a little bit. But I would be remiss because again, I bring this up often and I talk about it all the time. You got 6 picks in the first 32. There was a point where you had 4 picks in the first 10.
Hmm.
That resulted in a Higby, a
Hmm.
CEH, a Ruggs, and who was the other one? Who was the fourth motherfucker? They don't know. Like MC motherfucker ain't doing shit. So the point of the matter is, what can you tell the people about? And I've even said this, and I've gone on record. Outside of Ruggs doing 900 miles an hour down the Vegas Strip, he was your gem of your pick. But everybody else was trash, and I called CEH trash long before. But what do you have to say about that draft? What happened? What did you see that didn't materialize? Help me understand, because I bring that shit up often. I say you draft trash, but that's my
I'll say that draft year, I was focusing on more of the hype and hoping that these players would back it up.
opinion.
Like I said, that was my approach. And like I told you, this league is super competitive.
It is.
That's not gonna cut. So this year is totally different. I'm looking at players' performance from the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the system, the if they transferred from all the other colleges. I'm paying attention to a lot of details. What I want from certain players that I'm drafting, what I'm looking for. This year is totally different. So I think that was a mistake I made, and that was my approach. But I'm not paying attention to none of the noise and the hypes that come with these players. I'm looking at numbers.
Mm. Finally, finally. God damn it. So I want to talk about your roster right now with all of these picks that you got coming up. You talk
Mhm.
to people about potential roster moves. And you could say plead the fifth, and I'll leave it alone and move on. But what's the future of Kyler Murray on your squad? He was top 10, got you 337 points. What's the future?
Well, he's not going nowhere.
All
I
right.
think his injury was a setback. New acquisition of Marvin
Harrison
Jr.
Jr. Mhm.
I think it's gonna take a while for the boys to take a while for the boys to get it together, figure it out. But that's my quarterback for the future. He's not going
Quarterback for
anywhere
the future. You
until
draft
further notice.
Bucky Irvin. Now we've Roy and I have talked in other shows, and even in the chat room, he said, you picked up a lot of good. free agent acquisitions. Now, I want to talk about one of the people you did draft, Luke McCaffrey. You see
Hmm.
a future there in Washington with him? Does he have a future on the Black Republicans?
Oh, he has it right now. He has a future. We'll see what Washington plans to do.
I mean,
But
they did bring in
like I said,
Debo.
look at his
They still got Brown and they
numbers.
still got McLaren.
Hmm.
At best, he fighting for number 3 with Brown. But I fucks with that. Bucky Irvin. Bucky Irvin was a pickup, right? Out of the you got him out the trash heap. He was what 13th in running backs, 275. Did his thing. So you getting
Yeah, I
somebody
think.
to pair with him, or you trying to move him in the off season? What you doing?
Oh, he's gonna stick around. Him, I want to pair him. You already know who I'm drafting first pick. I'm pairing them boys. I expect them boys to do some damage, some noise in this league for me.
Mhm. All right.
So right now he's not going nowhere. The guy that I have a couple of other players, rookies that
Talk to
I'm
him.
hoping to see them boys shine, like Jalen White. I expect
Mhm.
a lot more from him this year. And the guy that went undrafted, Poker, I want to see what his second year looks like
Okay.
because I like his style of play. He's more of a technical player than a speedster, but I like it. I like what I'm seeing.
Okay. Your defense is trash. Just to throw that out there, all of them. I don't think you got one top 15. Oh yeah, your defensive tackle
Quincy
top 10.
Williams, you don't like Quincy? If I drop Quincy, you know your ass is picking him up.
Man, please.
I'm
My
confident
defense
he's
is
on your watch
bad,
list.
man.
I'm confident he's on your watch list.
I don't want no motherfucker on your squad. Now,
Oh, okay. I'll drop him
all
today. We'll see what happens.
right. So we talked about the take strategy. That was as you said, Roy would say something along the lines of he's evolved or evolution is there or some
Mhm.
old punk puss ass shit that he be throwing out there. We talked about the draft mishaps. Have you had any other draft mishaps and are you concerned about potential draft mishaps coming up?
Okay. I'll say 2 years, not this draft, not last year's draft, but the draft before. When I really tried to implement my strategy, it didn't work out the way I wanted to.
Mm,
So last year draft was a lot better, but I think this time around, this draft coming up, I got it figured out, my strategy. And it's 3D chess, man. I gotta play into other players, owners, I gotta play into other managers' mind. Gotta play this mind game when it comes to drafting. So I got my strategy figured out. I think this year I'm gonna have a real good draft
Man, that
to
draft
pair with.
had that shit. You woke up in the crying game, and I was just like, yeah, yes, I know. And if you have to ask the question, yes, that was a shot. So now what?
We'll see, man. I just can't wait for this draft. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna just keep quiet. Let's do this draft. You notice I haven't talked about it in the chat room.
And we
My,
that's one thing we share similarly. Roy does things to try to get inside your draft. Try
yes.
to get it, he'll the mocks are nothing to go on, but to get inside your draft, you'd be like, nah, that's bullshit. I'm not drafting him. I'm drafting. No. So
Mhm.
keep it close to the vest, people. I'm letting you know. I heard it here first. Keep your draft room close to the vest because Roy will try to get in it.
Yes,
But
because the first five picks will determine how the rest of the draft goes.
yeah.
And Roy has this thing where he needs to know everybody's move. So
Somebody else said it. Toss it.
so I know I got the first and the sixth pick. The first pick, it's guaranteed.
Mm.
Sixth pick, I say he got a 50 shot. He get drafted just to, throw Roy off a little bit.
Roy is a master manipulator, people. Roy is the king of mind fucking. I'm letting y'all know. I'm letting you know, people. So I want to talk about the other people in the league. I want to
Yeah.
get your opinion on them as not only owners but how they've run their franchise.
Okay.
And the last year was it 2023? So Who won it? Hurricane Walker. Hurricane Walker was the number one team in all the land last year.
Crazy.
And we're gonna talk about this. So, and I don't know if you were around for the veto of the trade. But you've been in the league long enough to where remember when it was 4 votes,
Hmm.
and then we had to up it to 6.
Oh,
So
okay.
there was a trade. And if you weren't around for it or don't know too much about it, I can fuck with that. Um, but it was a trade that went down with Hurricane Walker and the U City Lions, and it didn't have
Hmm.
veto. Now, I was one of the votes, and I'm not going to dispute or act like I wasn't because I was. But that means it was how many other people?
5.
So all are culpable of this travesty.
Can you see?
So, huh?
Can you see who vetoed it?
No, you can never see who viewed that, and that's the one. Yeah, I look at your eyes, nigga. I see you. I see you, motherfucker. I see you, nigga. No, that's the thing. You can only see one once you vote to uphill
Mhm.
or to veto.
Okay.
At that point, you see how many votes went whichever way,
Okay, gotcha.
and you can just not vote. But it's so it's we've all been on the receiving end of a veto. You and I have been on the receiving end of a
Hmm.
veto, orchestrated and led by Team Commish with his funky ass. Brian has been saved several times. Um, I remember when Watson, the shitty quarterback for the Browns back in he was
Hmm.
a rookie and he was a rookie and a trade went down with somebody for A Rod, Aaron Rodgers, and Wilson and I mean Watson, and I remember like Gronk was pissed, Lennox was pissed, and it was a bunch of motherfuckers like y'all fucking up, blah blah. So I ended up at the time getting Watson for like a second round, and then flipping them later. It was just some crazy shit. But the veto goes. I said all that to say that the veto can go either way. And
Hmm.
do you participate in votes often, or you just I see you smile, you gonna participate in them shits again? You gonna yeah, I see your motherfucking
I'm a menace, man. Listen, I veto every fucking trade. Let it be known. I veto every fucking trade. I'm just a menace. Hey, that's what comes with tanking. You bottom, I'm gonna start
ass.
infecting other managers, team
I'm just gonna
operate.
hate
I don't
it.
care.
All right, so again, what you think about Hurricane Walker? What do you think about? Do you know much about him? He's new.
Man, I'll be honest with
I
you, I
want to
don't
say
know much.
he got into the league because he won
Uh-huh.
the elimination league. So when the
Yeah.
spot opened up, he came in. So to be a champ in 2 years, hey, shout out to the motherfucking Walkers. We got to get that.
That's insane, man. I don't know, man. This league is tough, bro. Like it's hard. Like when you see someone up in the rising, you're like, who's that? You're so
Right.
focused on trying to build a team. Like
Mhm.
that's another player owner I gotta like keep an eye out on. Mm,
World Boss. What are your thoughts on the World Boss as an organization?
man, that's my dog. That's my dog. I'll say this: he's been blessed with a solid group of players that kept him competitive for a long time. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm
He
gonna say
knows what he's doing with a couple of picks.
that
I
nigga
gave him
tanked for
some
2 years.
freebies. I gave him some freebies. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because I had a strategy, but it didn't work out in my favor, and it worked out real well in his favor.
Uh-huh.
But you know, he's a strong player.
Yeah, all right. Shout out to the World Boss. Team Commish, third place team.
Tinkamish, hey, he's a solid manager. He knows what he's doing. He's got his he has the ability to manage his team,
Mm-hmm.
and know what everybody else strategy is. It's ridiculous. I don't know what he's doing. Uh, and that's all I got to say about him. He's very good at managing his team, and he's keeping an eye on everybody else. It's crazy. That's why you got to play 3D. That's one of the players you got to play 3D chess with.
Have you ever played chess with Roy?
Nah, you play chess?
Roy? Look
Yeah,
at me, people. Look into the camera. Never play chess with Roy. You will not win. You will never win.
it
Never.
makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Roy is again. Shout out to Team Chris. That's he brought. And one thing that I do admire is, like I say, he is all into it. And when he first sanctioned the show, we it was because those rankings that he put out, and when we start with the bragging rights, all of those lists that takes time, and you put into your baby, and you watch it grow, and you put into that, you constantly feed it. So when we started coming with the show, it was just a different thing. So I'm happy and humbled to be part of it, and I fucks with it. But yeah, he this stuff takes time, and the stuff that he does and that we do for all the other owners is it's a labor of love. We do the shit because we like to, and like we don't get to talk shit while we do it. So fourth place team, the ass kickers.
They I. They I. Yeah, I think I beat that team, but they I,
Yeah.
man. What's our ass beat that team? But they I.
Mm-hmm. Brandon, the people's champ.
Who?
Brandon, man, the people's champ.
Oh, okay. The temporary league leader. Yeah. Oh, that guy.
The
I
division
mean,
leader, yes, the division winner.
that's another bless, manager right there. He's been blessed.
You coming for him?
Oh, that's my league. That's my division. It's
Okay. Hey, Brandon
interim.
is his division. I have multiple division titles. So Chibo Burgers. Chibo Burgers.
I respect him. We negotiate a lot. He's a tough person to do trades with. He wants to strip my team naked when I do trades with that guy. I avoid. I try, man. But he's a real tough owner to trade with.
Want to take you to that Mosey Wozy.
And he wants to clean you out.
Shout out to the Chibo Burgers. Hard negotiator, hard negotiator. But Chibo, God damn. Missouri Kings. Little
Missouri
Larry,
Kings,
LTK. Larry the King, or whatever the hell he calling it. So.
Larry. I'm not gonna lie. This year, I got a little respect for him this year
Mm-hmm.
with the way his team was looking. But that's a guy that blessed me. I think I got his pick. You know? So it's a nice guy. He's a good guy. I think I got his pick. He did good this year for me.
Oh, God damn. This is what I'm talking about, people. If
That's
you
six
have
picks,
not
man.
if you not would get to know the owner, people, if you haven't done your segment, this is your time and this is your spot to do and say whatever the hell you want. So you got the Gronk. The Gronk is one of the early ones too. I believe he's one of the ones that started with you guys.
Hey, that's a quiet dude, but he's actually putting in work. He don't say much, but he's actually putting in work.
He is. He is. Gronk is a strong player. Um, and you have to get into the WhatsApp app because that's the only place he's at.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you might catch him on Messenger. So if you need to talk to
Yeah,
Gronk.
passport, bro, man. That's how they move. That's how they move, man. What's that? Let's be real, man. I know it takes a passport, bro, to know a passport,
Oh
bro.
shit! Yeah, he just said he just got back from the Philippines, like
Yeah.
today.
And how long he's been there?
He
I
said it
think
was a
he's been
couple of
there.
weeks.
Okay, okay.
Oh, he was
Yeah.
living there a while back, and he just
Yeah,
moved
yeah, yeah.
back to Canada, but he was back there.
Okay.
Yeah, we just talked today. Cheese the Don, Sean.
I don't know too much about him. I got my favorites. He just Cheese a Don. Nah, hold on. Let me see what Cheese a Don.
He's the Don is the guy that's been in and out the league 3 times. He sold his team the first time, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
quit.
He's not impressionable. He hasn't left any good impressions. That's one thing I'll say. I didn't quit. I stuck around
Yeah.
because I respected the way Roy was managing the league, and I
Hmm.
didn't want to, disrespect him by just leaving empty lineups. I can't respect someone that quits and come back. Come on, man. It's
Mm.
rough. It's rough. It's hard to. That's hard to. Nah, I can't respect it.
Hear that, Sean? You hear that? Niggas
Can't
got
respect it.
respect.
His weak too hard. His heart too weak for this, man. It's just too weak. That boy has to go to rehab just to come back. This league is rough. You know what? I'm gonna take it
God
easy on the guy.
damn.
Goes to treatment, then he comes back. He goes to therapy and comes back.
Oh shit. These motherfuckers ruthless, y'all. Say it. New York City Matrix. He's definitely another forefather. He is the punching bag of Team Commish on the show. Say it. What you got?
You know, he's in my division too, so he's a nice guy. I'm not gonna hate on his method, the way he want to run his league. Maybe I'm a beneficiary. I'm gonna be a benefit. It's gonna benefit me, but I like what he's doing. You know what I mean? I like what he's doing.
You ain't
Say
shit.
sorry.
You ain't
Better
shit.
for me.
You ain't worth the flesh you printed on, motherfucker. You City Lions. Your boy Brian. Brian, I
Brian,
know you listening. One of the worst teams in the league.
I like Brian. We actually had a conversation on other line. Good conversation. He's a good dude.
Yeah,
A little competitive, but
both of you
I'm
guys
not
are
saying
crazy.
it results in anything. But he's a good dude. He
Ted
got a little
Bundy
fire.
versus John Wayne Gacy. That's the two you motherfuckers. That's how that shit is. Two rapists.
I
Y'all
will
come
say
out there
this.
with the white. He got some candy. I like some candy. Some candy.
I will say this. He has some good things to say about you.
Nah,
And I will credit him for the reason why I'm here today. I
really?
will say that. Yeah.
Wow. Shout out to motherfucking Brian. You know what? I give you that. I'm waiting on yours. Uh, that's what he has some good things to say about me. You want to share? I love to hear this.
He said this is all an act, bro. He said this ain't you in real life. You're a
What?
teddy bear.
What?
This is fantasy football. Say you're a teddy bear in real life.
See, listen. Now I'll tell you something about Brian. Brian, I'm a little bit older than him. I'm like uncle age. I'm not
Mhm.
old enough to be his dad, but I'm just so he's known me at work. Everybody know I'm a nurse. So at work, I have to be Ira. I can't be Big Mo at work. Big Mo don't pay the bills. Big Mo can't earn no motherfucking money. Ira does. And Big Mo go out there and spend it on shit like this. When we out here talking that shit to them niggas. But no, I'm actually it's funny. I live around the corner from where Brian grew up.
Okay.
And Brian he's a good dude, and Brian good people. Brian good people. We yeah, that's the homie. That's the homie. Good
Yeah, like I
things to say
said,
about me. Let's
nothing
see.
but
He
good
said I'm
things
a
to say.
teddy bear. Fuck you, Brian. And you City Lions, nigga.
Say you're a softie.
Okay. Yeah, y'all better ask Tebow, Brandon, Moan. Now they've seen me and know me outside. Never mind. It ain't cool. El Patron, my brother El Patron. Shout out to Moan.
El Patron. El Patron. What's the league owner? What's his league owner name?
He Ramon Buford.
Ramon, that guy.
You
That's
probably
the guy
don't.
that drafted my player, right?
I believe. You know what? Speaking of Brian, now we go back to El Patrone 1 second. Now, I've said this, and my camera's moving. I'm adjusting my back thing. There was a, if you remember, the year Miles Sanders was drafted,
Mm-hmm.
and you had a, if I remember right, and I'm just doing, and this ain't the kick of no dust. This is just get the record straight. There was a supposed to be a post draft trade with
Mm-hmm.
you and Brian, and that involved Miles Sanders. And I think Miles Sanders was picked up at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Can you, if you remember, if you don't remember, it was years ago, but I wanted to know if you could give the some clarity on what happened, because I remember you were pissed, and Brian was like, "Well, I just changed my mind," kind of thing. Don't remember that
Mm-hmm.
fine. No big.
Sorry about that.
The rest of these cats, Bully Foot, you don't know a whole lot about because he ain't. I mean, he don't really talk. Sparks Bucks is AK Lord Hate. He comes in and he's active from time to time. I wish he would change his name to Lord Hate. I love that fucking name. I love Lord Hate. Shit is great. You got the New North Siders and then the Black Republicans. That's how they fan out and pan out. Dead last again. Dead last. You probably finished last more than anybody in this league. Yes, these are facts, people. Again, so since you've been in the beginning of the league, when it was a redraft league, when it was just 12 cats, so you've literally seen it grow from its infancy to now. So what were your thoughts when we went from redraft league to dynasty?
I thought it was a good move because we had a lot of solid, managers.
Mm,
And like I said, man, the one thing I did not anticipate how active and competitive it would be.
mm.
So yeah, I like it. It's very active. It's a lot of shit talking too, man. But yeah, I like it.
Shout
That's
out. If
that's
you are
one thing.
not in the main chat room, you need to get in there because that's where a lot of shit goes down.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit talking going down.
And you got to
Yeah.
back that up, or you
Or
can't
you can go
run.
or you can leave the league, go to therapy, get your life together, and come back. Sean.
There it is, people. There it is. Uh, you did some running for a while. You were out of the chat room. You didn't quit the league, but you were out of the chat room. I'm not gonna let you scathe by and just roll over that shit. We're gonna call a spade a spade. So when you went from, now we go from dynasty, then we expand the roster. We went from one cornerback to two cornerbacks and defensive tackle. So that gradual progression happened. Now we're in the salary cap.
Hmm.
Was it a learning curve? Well, first off, how did you feel about the salary cap?
I think I was one of the guys that voted for it,
Okay.
and I like it because it brings that. It kind of throws another element into the game.
The one thing I appreciate about it is a motherfucker like you who was tanking don't get first dibs at that hottest free agent. Now everybody got
Hmm.
an even playing field. Everybody got the same amount of money. So everybody has a shot at that
Hmm.
guy. People had a shot at Bucky Irvin. They didn't take him. You did. You found him. It's different shit. Like, I think you pick Judy up off the track? No, you had Judy from, you was a keeper. But little shit like that. And I admire that you saw people, you have an eye for shit that some people don't see, but two, it evens it out. Everybody got a chance, depending on how you
Yo,
spend.
to be honest with you, I drafted Bucky.
You did.
I drafted him. Yeah, I drafted him.
Who did you? No, who was it? The other one, Tank Bigsby. I drafted
Yeah,
him.
Tank
Picked him,
Bigsby. Yeah.
yeah, picked him up off the trap sheet. So now when the salary cap, did you find like a little learning curve with it, or was it, because it's still a little cat and mouse. Because all I got to do is outbid you by $1.
But
But
this is the beauty of it. This is
mhm,
the beauty of it. The reason why I was for it is because I understood that the teams that were actually competing for the chip
Mm-hmm.
had to be real mindful of how much money they spent because they had to think about that last trade towards the end of the season. Me, I was willing to. It was all about draft picks, so all I was doing was trying to find that diamond in the rough
Mm-hmm.
to add to my roster for next year, and I did that with Coker, Bigsby. You know, those are a couple nice guys I picked up.
Kincaid, you picked up. He was trash, but I only assumed you picked him up because you was tanking. But you could have went with Theo Johnson. So however you want to do it. Uh, but Pierre Strong, well, that was another one of your acquisitions, which was trash. But so was there a learning curve for you in that? Knowing that, okay. Well, I guess I heard what because you already asked if you're not focused on trying to get the best dude and spending money, this, that, and other. It was, I know where I'm going. I'm just trying to get what I
Mm-hmm.
can and see what I see what you said. So it wasn't necessarily a learning curve for you because you weren't necessarily interested. And now that
Mm-hmm.
you've seen year one of how motherfuckers spend and what motherfuckers go
Mm-hmm.
for what, it does give you a little bit of insight into how people and specific owners spend their money.
Yeah, because y'all the ones that were competing for the chip was actually looking for impact players. Me, I was just burning, figuring it out, seeing how who I could pick up for next year's roster. That was my approach
Hmm.
in the salary cap, which I liked. That's what the benefit. If you're not a team that's not going to compete, I think that's the advantage you get out of it. Because I'll be honest with you, the players y'all pick up with the salary cap, those are the players that's most likely the players that's going to get waived. Going to go right back to the waiver wire.
Anywho, I think the tank shit was soft and whack and all you motherfuckers that supported. Look here, look at all you.
Hey,
I'm talking to
hey,
you.
we'll see this year. We'll see this draft.
About that shit he talking about. I'm
We'll
talking.
see this draft.
I'm
This
talking.
draft probably be
What you
lit.
talking about? I'm talking to y'all. Anybody that support that shit, y'all some bags. Bags. Anyway, so teams' future plans to finish dead last again, or what we doing? How we doing it?
Oh, for number one, take my division back from my
Mm.
interim. That's the first thing that's got to do. But I need to have a talk with New North Side about the
Okay.
trades.
Chuck.
You know what I mean? We
Chuck is
got a
a
little
fan of the
too many.
show. That's Roy's cousin, my wife's cousin. Chuck, Black Republicans want to holler at you about some stuff. So what you want to holler at them about though? You want to let the people know?
No, not right now. Not right now. We gotta have. It's gotta be. He gotta come to my office, or I'll go to his office. We figure this out. Then we'll make a grand announcement once things get figured out.
Look at this nigga roster. See what the fuck is you on? But so that's the team plan for the
Don't
future.
holler at me, man. I see them picks, man. You got one too many.
He got a lot
Slide
of
them
picks. He went on a fire sale
my way.
and motherfuckers are just
Good
throwing
Lord,
shit.
fire sale.
He had a fire sale
Oh,
probably 3 days before the trade deadline. And Cass was just throwing shit at her. I think Brian threw uh shit. It might have been so you might not have LTK's pick. I think Brian threw it at New Northside. I think New Northside has just as many picks in the first 2 rounds as you do, if not more. So it's
I
going
think
to
he
be
has.
the Black Republicans and New Northsiders draft this year. Speaking of draft,
I know he got a lot of picks in the second round.
speaking of draft, is it possible? Do you think we could ever get Paul Wilson in St. Louis for the draft party?
It's a possibility.
It's
I
a
don't know about this year.
possibility, people. They said it couldn't happen. They said this shit would never happen. And, hey, we got it. It's a
But what
possibility.
happened about what about South Florida? It's a beautiful place for a draft party.
It is. It's good. If you wanna set one up. I mean, we might see if we can.
Right down Hard Rock is 10 minutes away.
Hey, I know me, Brandon. Shit, we don't mind traveling. Moan don't mind getting on a plane. We love South Florida. We in
Okay.
Florida all the time. So maybe one year, a few years down the line, you announce that you hosting the draft party in South Florida. We might shoot down. But we
Okay.
got a possibility that you'll come to St. Louis and I fucks with that. Now,
Yeah. Credit to Brian once again.
shout out to shout out to Brian. So you told Brian that we was doing this?
Nah, Brian told me he's a good dude. He's not really like that in person. And I'm like, all right, let me hear what you. I'm listening. I start lurking the chat room a little bit more. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me approach this a little different.
That's
And
what I thought.
and he
I approached it a
also
little different.
he also pitched the idea of me coming to the draft party. He think it'll be dope.
I think it would be too. Now, to say I'm not the person that I am both. I am, yeah, this is all only because, okay, so I don't, and I think we've talked about it. When I got shot, I just remember laying in that bed. It was 2:30 in the
Mhm.
morning, looking out the window. I'm like, ain't no music, ain't no hoes. Ain't nobody coming in here but this bitch to give me some medicine, this other hoe to take my vital signs. It was just like, you know what? I got to do something different. But I tell people all the time, just because I choose not to, don't mean I forgot how to. People all day long. This is what we do. It's still he'll still baby. But so team plans for the future. We discussed that. You got anything before we go into the final words? Is there anything you want to touch on?
Mm, I don't know. I mean, it'll be. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold off till draft. I got a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
When we do the draft, hmm, we gotta have a discussion with more people on the panel. I'm down with that. I like this.
During the
Just
draft,
wanted to say
I
something.
always
Wait,
live
yeah.
stream the draft. I live stream the draft every year. Every
Okay.
year. So
All
yeah,
right then.
it's this but also shout out to everybody that has jumped in every Thursday night,
Hmm.
every Sunday all day long, and every not Monday night and not I'm sorry. Yes, every Monday night, every Sunday, and every Thursday, I have a live link. Just like you jumped on, anybody, the league can jump on at any given time and sit there and watch the game and talk shit. And Brian's been on, LTK's been on, Roy's been on, Sean's been on, Mo's been on, and we'll just be sitting here watching the game and motherfuckers will be on. So yeah, we do. I keep a live link open for everybody throughout the football season. So at any given time, anybody want to jump on and watch the game and talk shit, this is what we do.
Okay. Okay. I like that. It's
So,
something I'm gonna
you got any final thoughts, final words for the people?
hold on. Can we pause for a second? Hold on. Right quick. Let me just be right back.
Some slight technical difficulty, but we were literally getting ready to go into your final words. What do you have to say to the people on your way out?
Final words. Your boy is back. I'm
Mm,
coming from my division.
mm.
Just to let y'all know how serious I am. Watch my draft. Watch my draft. You'll see how serious I'm coming in. I'm coming in so serious. And yo, let's have fun, man. No hard feelings. Let's
I've,
get
I've,
messy.
I've seen your drafts. And another fun fact, people, Black Republicans have had more top five picks than anyone in the entire league, people. These are facts.
Hey, I've been focused the last 2 years. I'm been focused.
You can
Fuck
go and make
Kaepernick.
up the excuse that you need or want to, sir. The facts are the facts. You cannot argue them.
Hey, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Nobody understands what's it like at the bottom.
I don't. I sure in the fuck
Hey,
don't.
y'all gonna respect. Yo, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Hey, it ain't easy.
Lennox does.
Process is not
Lennox
easy.
does tanking ass. No, I don't.
Damn,
I know what it's like.
see that number two? That's crazy.
Mm-mm.
But
No.
like I say, watch the draft.
Watch the
The
draft.
draft. Watch the draft. I'm gonna let it
Well,
speak for
people,
itself.
this is it. This is what they said could never happen. This is the one that they said would never be done. And we did the impossible, baby. So from me to you, us to you, you and yours, we out this motherfucker. Peace.